Hello students, this is Shahrukh Khan from St. Xavier Senior Secondary School, Hardoi. Today again here with a new video of class 10 physics chapter light. Today we will discuss about the refraction of light and refraction through a rectangular glass slab. So students, before starting our topic, I would like to remind you to subscribe our school channel and click bell icon for further notifications. Now let's come to the point that what is the refraction of light. As we can explain the refraction very easily by taking the example that as whenever we have seen that a pencil in a glass full of water appears distorted, so part of it underwater appears shortened, and when objects seen through glass look distorted. Similarly, when a person is standing in water, his body appears oddly shortened. These changes are brought about because of the change of media. Means medium. When the medium changes, then we can see these types of changes. Okay, so the light rays emerging from two submerged part of pencil have to travel through two media. That is, what are the media? That is the water and air before they reach our eyes. So when light rays cross the boundary between two transparent materials of different optical densities, then they went. This optical density has nothing with hardness or weight to do, but it is a measure of the speed of light through a transparent medium. Thus, we can say the bending of light is called refraction. Refraction is the bending of light that takes place when it passes from one optical medium to another optical medium with different optical densities. Okay, so students, here the one question arises: what is the cause of refraction? Means how it is caused. If we suppose that light refracts from air to glass, then light enters from air to glass, its speed gets reduced as glass is optically denser medium. This causes bending of light. Hence, we can say that the refraction of light takes place due to change in the speed of light while it undergoes refraction from one transparent medium to the other. So this is the cause of refraction of light. Now there are two laws of refraction of light. So these two laws are stated as follows: that the first law, what is the first law of the refraction of light? The first law: the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal at the point of incidence lie in the same plane. The incident ray and the refracted ray are on the opposite sides of the normal. And the second, for a given pair of media, the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant. That is, sine I upon sine R is equal to constant. This is called Snell's law. This is also called Snell's law. Why it is called? Because in 17th century, Professor Snell, he was experimenting and then he found that the trigonometrical ratio, that is sin I upon sin R, remained constant for any two optical media. Thus, he gave this relationship which is known as Snell's law. Okay, so mathematically we can see the formula, that is mu is equal to sin I upon sin R. Here mu is the refractive index of the second medium with respect to air. Okay, now there are some examples we can take to understand the refraction. That is, whenever we see that a swimming pool appears shallower than is actually the case. Why? If we consider the tiles at the bottom of the pool, okay, then the rays of light emerging from the bottom after refraction bend away from the normal in the direction. Okay, so these rays reach the observer's eye and they appear to come from a point which is nearer to the surface of water than the bottom. So based on these examples, we can say that when light enters from a rarer optical medium like air to a denser optical medium like water or glass, it gets refracted towards the normal. In other words, we can say when the ray of light passes from a denser medium to a rarer medium, the ray of light bends away from the normal. Just as in the case of reflection, the angle between the incident ray and the normal is called the angle of incidence, and the angle between the refracted ray and the normal is known as the angle of refraction. Okay, here the greater the angle of incidence, the more is the ray refracted. Means as soon as the angle of incidence will be increased, then the more ray will be refracted. Smaller the angle of incidence, then lesser is the ray refracted. Hence, when the incident ray is perpendicular to the surface of separation, that is, the angle of incidence is 0, then no refraction takes place. Okay, so here are some points which we have to kept in mind, like light does travel more slowly in air than in vacuum, but the difference is negligible. Okay, another point, a ray of light travels from point A to B along the path that takes the shortest time. Okay, so when a ray of light travels from rarer medium to a denser medium, then the angle of refraction is less than the angle of incidence. When a ray of light travels from denser medium to a rarer medium, then the angle of refraction will be greater than the angle of incidence. There is no bending of a ray of light, that is, it goes straight. If incident ray falls normally, if angle I is equal to 0 degree, means incidence angle 0 and refracted angle is also 0. Okay, so this is called the refraction of light. Now, refractive index of the medium. What is the refractive index of the medium? If we consider, we know the Snell's law, that is the sin I upon sin R is equal to constant. Okay, here if we suppose a light ray is traveling from medium A to medium B, then we using the Snell's law, then sin I upon sin R is equal to constant. This constant is known as the refractive index of medium B with respect to medium A. Mathematically, this law can be expressed as, that is, sin I upon sin R. You can see here I have added an image, handwritten image here. Okay, will be equal to A mu B, which is equals mu B upon mu A. Okay, so that is refractive index of medium B with respect to medium A. If we can also take an example, that is, if a light ray travels from water to glass, then the ratio, that is the sin I upon sin R, is known as the refractive index of glass with respect to water, and mathematically it can be written as, that is sin I upon sin R is equal to W mu G. Okay, so that is mu G upon mu W. Mu G is the refractive index of glass and mu W is the refractive index of water. Thus we can say that it is the refractive index of glass with respect to water. Okay, as refractive index of a medium is the ratio of two similar quantities, therefore it has no units. It is a pure number and its magnitude varies with the change in the surrounding medium. Okay, so here I will tell you some additional information about this, that is the refractive index and optical nature of the medium. Okay, so the medium with a higher refractive index is considered as optically denser medium, while the medium with lower refractive index is known as the optically rarer medium. Thus we can say that in a medium of higher refractive index, more will be the bending of the ray of light passing through it and lesser the speed of light passing through it. Now, what is the velocity of light and refractive index? as we know that the light travels with different velocities in media of different densities. That is, the denser the medium, the slower the light travels in it. The amount by which light is refracted depends on how much its velocity changes. Greater the change, greater is the refractive power of the medium. Okay, now what is absolute refractive index of a medium? Absolute refractive index of a medium is the ratio of the velocity of light in vacuum to the velocity of light in the respective medium. Thus, in most of the cases, one of the medium involved is air and it has the absolute refractive index almost identical. Okay, so we can write the formula, that is the velocity of light in vacuum or air divided by velocity of light in the medium. So, velocity of light in air, that is in vacuum, the 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and velocity of light in glass, it is 2 into 10 ki power 8 meter per second, and the velocity of light in water 2.2 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. As we know that the light we normally come across actually consist of different colors, that is the magnitude of the absolute refractive index of a medium differs for different colors. Okay, so if we consider that for a ray of light traveling from medium 1 to medium 2, then the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 will be like that, the speed of light in medium 1 divided by the speed of light in medium 2. Okay, now what are, I have told you, that is optically denser and optically rare medium. What do you mean by optically denser medium? A medium in which the speed of light is less than that in air is called optically denser medium. For example, that is glass and water. These are the example of optically denser than air. Okay, and what is optically rare medium? A medium in which speed of light is more than that in air is called optically rare medium. For example, water. Water is optically rare than glass. Okay, so the refractive index of vacuum and air is taken as same for practical purpose. A medium is a material such as glass or water through which light can travel. Okay, here we have to remember some important points, like the refractive index of vacuum is 1 and that of air under normal temperature and pressure condition is about 1.0003. Greater is the difference in the speed of light in the two media, greater will be the deviation in the path of light in the second medium. That is, the greater will be amount of refraction of light. Speed of light in a medium is less than speed of light in vacuum, and hence refractive index of a medium is greater than 1. This is the reason that why the refractive index of the medium is greater than 1. Okay, the materials with similar angles of refraction are the optically denser materials. Okay, now let's come to the next point, that is the refraction through a rectangular glass slab. Okay, so to understand the such types of phenomena, that is the refraction of light through a glass slab, we have to do and perform an activity. Okay, if we take a sheet of white paper and fix it onto the drawing paper with the help of drawing pens. Okay, so we have to place a rectangular glass slab over the sheet in the middle, and we have to draw the outline of the slab with a pencil. Then we have to given the name the outline as ABCD. Then we will take four identical pins, that is fix two pins, say we can consider that is E and F, which are vertically such that the line joining the pins is inclined to the edge AB. You can see in the example. Now place rectangular glass slab with the sheet and mark its boundary with a pencil. Here we have to mark point and draw normal. Now we have to fix two pins, that is E and F, in a vertical position such that the line joining them makes acute angle with the normal. Here outlines are ABCD. We have given the name as ABCD. Now if we look through the glass slab from opposite side of the slab and locate the image of pins E and F, then fix two more pins, that is we can say another name G and H. Okay, so these pins and image of E and F lie in the same straight line. Now if we remove the pins, okay, and remove glass slab too, then we have to join again the points E and F. The line indicates incident ray. Okay, so and the other, that is the other two pins G and H, which represents the emergent ray. Now if we join these rays, the refracted ray, then we have to draw perpendicular to the two faces of the slab at points. Okay, here we have to measure the angle, that is the angle of incidence and the angle of refraction. Now if we repeat the same experiment by fixing pins at different orientations for different angles of incidence, then we can determine the corresponding angles of refraction. Okay, so here we can see, from this we have to verify the two laws of refraction of light, like the Snell's law first. Okay, so sine of both, that is the angle of incidence and angle of refraction, these angle of incidence and the angle of refraction, that is which is same for pair of angles of incidence and angle of refraction. This verifies, this is the constant value of ratio, that is sin I upon sin r, and which verifies Snell's law, and ratio, the ratio is equal to the refractive index of the glass slab. Another one is emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray, but it is displaced sideways, and when it is displaced sideways, this displacement of emergent ray with respect to incident ray is called lateral displacement. Okay, emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray, as we can see here in the diagram. It is that emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray but is displaced sideways. Okay, now the displacement, lateral displacement, depends on refractive index of material of the glass slab. Greater is the refractive index of the medium, greater is the lateral displacement. Okay, then thickness of the glass slab, more is the thickness of glass slab, more is the lateral displacement. Okay, so this is the refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab. Here we have to remember that a glass slab behaves as an optical element that shifts the object in the direction of incident ray. Okay, so the ray of light goes straight when a ray of light is incident normally to the interface of two media. That is, if the angle of incidence is 0, then in that case there is no lateral displacement, means such so absolute refractive index I have told you. I hope that you all understood about the refraction of light. Okay, now I am going to discuss some questions on the basis of this topic only. That is, what are the factors on which lateral displacement depends when a ray of light passes through a glass slab? Okay, when a ray of light passes through a glass slab. I hope you can give this answer, because just before I have told you that on which factors the lateral displacement depends. Still I am, so you have to write this answer yourself. Next question, when light undergoes refraction, what happens to its frequency? Okay, so when light undergoes refraction, there is no change in its frequency, means it remains unchanged. The next question, how is wavelength affected when light goes from denser to rarer medium? Okay, so when light goes from denser to rare medium, there is no effect. Then the wavelength increases. Wavelength increase means on going from denser to rare medium, the wavelength of light will be increased. Another question, which medium has maximum refractive index? Okay, so the answer is diamond. Another question, I am telling you, you have to write the answer yourself, that is, how is the width of beam affected in going from air to glass? Okay, so I hope students you all understood about this topic. Thank you, have a nice day.